cheap vodka, oil, naked, Ethernet.
Yeah! Now I know y'all be loving episode 35 right here.
God, I loved Limp Bizkit. God, they were for a bit. They were number one in my heart.
Yeah,
I would sit around and watch MTV, Carson Daly, whatever the TRL, and wait for Nookie to come on. Are you kidding me?
Did I tell you the story about when
what a banger!
When I was I think I was a sophomore or junior in high school.
Yeah.
And they had, MTV or Much Music, whichever one was on. When we get to class early enough in my science class, that's Velcro. I'm putting my gloves on.
I was worried that a cable was coming loose. I was like, shit.
Just my fingerless gloves. We would get into class early and we'd go turn the TV on, and Nookie was always playing, and my teacher would walk in. And he'd see it on, and every morning he'd just look over at us like, "Oh, Bryan, what the hell are you doing?
What are you doing?"
And then I saw that guy.
I'll tell you what I'm doing. It all for the Nookie.
Everything I do is for the Nookie.
Yes, it is.
And then I saw that guy at a restaurant in my hometown. Probably
Fred Durst or the teacher?
No.
Oh.
The teacher.
Okay. I was like, what the fuck?
I reminded him about that, and he giggled.
Fucking Fred Durst doing a Moses Lake. Can you imagine?
Dude, he gets around.
He does. Oh, man. I never got to see him live. I wish I did.
I did.
No, you did?
It was okay.
Okay. Episode 35. We're excited that you're here. Of course, we'll keep recording.
You're excited that I'm here?
Yeah.
Or the people?
If you didn't show up, fuck.
I think we should do a show like that sometime. You're like, you just talk to me like I'm here, but I just don't respond.
Just never acknowledge that Fred Durst is sitting in for you.
Yeah.
But it's just like, that's it.
You just push a button. You're like, hey, what do you think about that? And you just push a button. He goes, yeah,
come on.
I think it'd be funny if you did a show where I'm not here, but you talk to me like I'm not responding. Like, what do you think, Bryan? Are you going to answer me?
Okay, fine. And just carry on. Maybe I have to have a laugh track though.
Yeah.
To make me, or have you say anything like just a slight anything to acknowledge the existence.
I'll just record a few little things, and you put it on your little soundboard, and you just start sprinkling them in.
You're just like, whoa, that's crazy.
You just tell a story, and then every once in a while, you just push it.
Wow, no way.
I wonder if you could get through a whole show like that.
Oh, it's so funny. Just these little buttons that I push.
Oh, Joe, you're so funny.
Oh, my God. I'm so happy to do this with you. You're so funny. We just have that
the
button.
Privilege of being able to do this with you.
We will keep recording additional content on the back end of today's episode. That's what we do now. And if you support us on Patreon, you get to hear the additional content. So head over to patreon.com/canyoudon'tpodcast. Send in stuff you want to hear. We need more of it. Hey guys at canyoudon'tpodcast.com. It's so much fun reading those. And then just a quick note.
You posted a thing today.
Oh yeah, about questions.
When I was driving here, my phone was going. All the questions coming in.
Turn into a vibrator.
Yeah. So I put it between my legs.
Good. Did you come?
Nah, I couldn't quite get there.
Just edged?
Because the drivers were annoying me. So I was like, oh, that feels good. Get the fuck out of the way!
You were mad and almost about to come?
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds
Rage come?
Sounds like my sex life. We don't normally address this stuff, but it is so crazy. I have no idea where the numbers are at this point because this episode's coming out, next week. But thoughts go out to everyone that is affected by the Turkey and Syria earthquakes. It is fucking crazy to think about how many people have lost their lives in this and have been injured. And there's, experts, I'm not sure if they're experts in dead people. I'm not sure, they're just looking at the zone they've cleared so far and then the overall destruction that's happened. They're saying 50,000 plus people.
Hopefully it's not more than that by the time this comes out.
I know. I mean, it really could be. That's the entire population of Coeur d'Alene. Just everyone just gone. So that is a massive natural disaster, and we just want to make sure that we recognized it.
My wife was telling me stories. She was like, they had pictures of somebody holding the hand of someone that's under the rubble, that the person's gone, and they're just they're sitting there holding their hand. Like knowing that I can't get this person out. Just heartbreaking.
It is terrible. It is awful. I guess on a flip side of some good news.
How do we transition out of that?
I don't know. Rotten Sled seems to do the trick. Slip on out of there. But it has been approved on Urban Dictionary, and a lot of kids have already found it. So Rotten Sled entered it to be a part of Urban Dictionary. It's up there. It's live right now. So if you head over to Urban Dictionary and search for Rotten Sled, you can give it the old thumbs up. I'm not sure if you can you comment on stuff?
I don't know.
Inside Urban Dictionary seems a little too complex.
Guess, you know what? I never thought of it as like a community thing. I thought it was just somebody that ran a site. But now that I realize that, we should try to come up with a bunch of things.
And just start throwing them in there and supporting them. Yeah, because I'm assuming the more thumbs up or support that it gets, then the more like it pops up in their whole little universe.
Well, we could have a whole Can You Don't section of just...
Have our own dictionary eventually. You reminded me of this. I just moved on because I got it out of my system. But I had the kids up at a basketball tournament a couple weeks ago. And I'm not going to name what hotel because it doesn't matter. But I don't stay at a ton of hotels. I do plenty of traveling with the kids now for their sports, did plenty for music, and then did plenty for my own sports growing up. So, a fair amount of hotels, but not like a crazy amount I've been relentlessly on the road for 20 years. Like, not that many hotels. But I was checking in with the kids, and we get the room number. Hotel looks nice. It smells nice. The breakfast thing, it looks like it's going to be a great breakfast in the morning. Just continental, they got the waffle maker. Pumped for the AM. And we go and we walk down the hallway, thank you so much, nice lady at the desk. You've been a pleasure. And we take off, and I'm walking down the hall with my kids. And we get to our room, and we do little beep beep.
Do they fight over who gets to put the car? They're too old for that now?
And Pepper's not going to fight Ezra. Yeah. Because that's just his world.
Yeah.
You don't take that. You don't take that from him.
That away from him.
No, you can try. You're going to die in your sleep. Okay? So she's learned that. And there's some tiny pleasures in life that you're just going to let go.
Right.
Because those are Ezra's now.
Yep.
He owns those.
And that's a battle not worth fighting.
In this case, it was actually me. Thank God. So it... Beep, beep, scanned it in, like a little motor noise and unlocked, open the door. And I walk in and I was just overwhelmed with sensation because I just was hearing things and things were in the room. And I was just trying to figure out what was happening. So my first thing that I noticed, I looked across the room.
Why is there a naked man in my room?
And there's just like bottles of cheap vodka, like huge half gallons sitting on the table. And I'm like, those aren't mine. Like I didn't order those.
Did I come here last night?
Right. It's like, oh man, are you my kids? Just like so drunk already. Those are there. There's some bags there. There's a bag of something on the bed. I don't know clear bag. It could have been, whatever. It could have been anything. Sex toys or just shampoo. I don't know, but it's there. TV is on. And now I'm standing next to the shower and the door is open to the shower, and someone is taking a shower.
This only happens to you. I swear to God.
The door just running, and I'm like, whoa. Like someone is in this shower right now doing shower stuff, right?
So someone's washing their butthole right now.
Right. And I walk in, and I make it like, whatever, it's 3 feet in, and I stop, and the kids like kind of bump into me, and I just go, what? Oh, jeez. And just go, I'm like, go, and I turn it and just shut the door. And it didn't really hit me in that moment of how bad that could have been.
Yeah.
Like you could have fucking a couple fucking on the
drug
bed.
Deal going down.
Drug deal. People get weird in hotel rooms. Like this feels familiar, but it's not mine. I'm going to fuck some shit. Like just don't, whatever. Hotels get weird.
Someone's going to clean it up for me.
Right. So we just walked back up and went back to the desk and said, hey, bad news. Someone was showering in the room we just walked into.
It's like the Three Little Bears story, and that person is still there.
And she just gives like the textbook emoji, like yikes face. She goes, oh shit, and she starts looking through, and she goes, oh, okay, and she starts talking to someone else. She goes, this was the room that we transferred, and like they're doing their whole thing, like I don't know, like someone didn't mark it, and we're so sorry about that. And what they like the tone they had was like, please don't tell anybody. Like that was kind of the vibe. I was like, yeah, it's an honest mistake. You did not willingly send me into someone else's room.
What if they did it on purpose? Like, oh, this is going to be hilarious.
And they're filming me for a fucking Ashton Kutcher surprise show.
You're getting punked.
Anyway, so that happened. Next room was great, but I've never come across that in a hotel. But I posted it on my socials. I think just Facebook, and some people commented like, "Oh yeah, it fucking happens all the time." And then other people like, "I work in a hotel. If this is the craziest thing you've seen, like, I got some stories for you." So if you do have some stories about crazy things that you've seen in a hotel room, I think we've kind of addressed that a little bit about just like behind the scenes stuff. Because I remember reading a story about the hotel and how fucked up that room was. That one dude was like shitting in this, or shitting and pissing in the tub, and not using the toilet. He was cum in the fucking coffee maker. I guess the whole fucking thing.
He was just like, I'm just gonna go. Bananas. Everything that should be this, I'm gonna shift it. Everything to the right.
He's like, you know what? I've never had a honeymoon. I'm gonna treat myself. And I'm going to fuck the TV. I'm going to fuck the VCR slot.
Is that something you do when you're like sitting on the bed and you're just kind of looking around like,
what can I fuck?
Or is that, or you're like, dude, I'm renting this room knowing I'm going to do this.
So, I mean, there's certain moods. You get it. You're like, I can't wait to get there because this is what I want to do. You're not always in that mood, but sometimes you are.
You know what's funny is like, 100% of people walking into a hotel room have walked around, looked around and goes, oh, this is nice. Mm-hmm. Like everyone has the same, like you never just walk into a hotel room and set your stuff down, right? And like go to the bathroom. Every single person looks around and comments on the room.
A little approval.
Isn't that weird how it's like okay, well, it smells like smoke, or
you push the bed a little bit.
Yeah.
You're like,
is there a fridge?
Not the best, but I mean, this is nice.
There's a microwave and a fridge. leftovers.
We can live here.
Yeah. Like everyone does that.
Primal instinct, like you're walking into a cave.
Yeah.
You walk in, you're like,
could a bear get in here?
Could a bear get in here? Can we start a fire? Mm-hmm. Is there a fire pit?
Yeah. Is there airflow? Throw your fire pit.
Throw your dead deer down on the bed. This'll do. That's a good spot.
This'll do.
At least we're not out there.
Yeah, we could be out in the elements.
Yeah. But if you have a crazy hotel story, we haven't asked this question for a bit. Maybe just more on the. I guess if you do work in the hotel world and you know some crazy stuff,
that's what I want to hear.
Send it in. heyguys at canyoudon'tpodcast.com. And I feel like I'm just talking a bunch at this moment.
Yeah.
But the hotel that we were staying at also happened in the same area that this next story came from. And because of the time of year, I know that this episode comes out, the Super Bowl already happened, right? But a reminder of a couple years ago, I think it wasn't last year. I think it was 2 years ago. One of the funniest fucking things that I've done, I've just like closed out the world. And I feel like you will appreciate this. And if you have or haven't heard this story before, I hope that you will appreciate it as well. So this particular Sunday, our kids had ski school at Schweitzer Mountain. Okay. We go and we drop them off. Blah, blah, blah.
We get it. You're loaded, Joe.
Okay, if that is what it takes to be like, all right, you're all set in life, is fucking ski lessons at Schweitzer. Hey. Didn't you go to Schweitzer last weekend?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go ahead and let's pump the brakes.
Bunny Hill, all right?
Hey, me too, this last Sunday. Things have changed. No, so we're up there, they're doing that. And I wish I would have maybe went back. The first time I told this story publicly, it had just happened. So I had all the details right then and there. But I believe I just looked up Super Bowl because I had not been really paying attention, and something popped up on like the DVR, on the live TV thing, and it showed fucking Super Bowl. And I was like, shit, like you can set things ahead of time that you're going to record, right?
Right.
So I was like, okay, well, I mean, I don't want to miss that for my kids' stupid fucking ski lessons. Made sure I looked it up, set record before we took off that morning, and then went up to the hill. So we're up there, and I have told Aaron, and I've told the kids, I was like, when we get home tonight, Daddy's watching the Super Bowl. We can't use the big TV, blah, blah, blah. And I like even talked about going out and like getting some snacks and chips and salsa and all this kind of stuff. It was fucking Super Bowl day. Like I wanted them to know.
Which TV are we talking about?
I think that one. The one that's upstairs.
The big one?
Yeah, the big one. Okay. Or the one that was upstairs. The one thing I took. No, it's so I had this whole plan, and then I was riding up a chairlift with my buddy Tommy, and he's not a big sports fan. And I tell him, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, he asked me, like, what are you doing tonight? I was like, well, I'm watching the fucking Super Bowl. And he goes, oh, he goes, crazy. He goes, that's today? And he's kind of like asking me. I'm like, the fuck is that today? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, oh shit, man. Like, I didn't, that's crazy. I didn't even know. I was like, yeah. So I'm, doing that, blah, blah. And this happens. I'm in a group text with my family, and I write them. I said, "Hey, I'm recording the game. Don't give me any updates." And then I send that, and then I mute the group, and I don't want anything from anybody about what is happening.
Nobody talk to me.
No one talked to me. I'm recording it. I don't want to do it, and I didn't want them to write back or do whatever. So I just muted them. Whole day goes by. I head home. I sit down. Fucking living room is daddy's. Mm-hmm. Like this is it, and I go and I open up the DVR situation.
All the snacks.
I mean, I don't remember. I feel like I had some chips or thought about having snacks. I didn't have very many, but I did like make a run to the store.
But it's like when you're like the kids, the family's going, you're going to rub one out. You're like, you're all sprawled out, ready to go, right?
You're like, the pants are not around my ankle. They are off.
Yeah.
They are on the floor.
I don't have to worry about anything.
But my socks are on because it's cold.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm sitting down and I'm just getting ready to fucking watch the Super Bowl. And I click around. I'm like, fuck, it's not recorded. And I look around a little bit and I don't know. I mean, I don't really understand how it happened, but it was next Sunday. And I spent the whole day telling everybody to not fucking bother me. So that I could watch the Super Bowl, and I'm so embarrassed. I'm like, what the fuck? So I open my phone, and so I go to that group chat, and my brother's like, what the fuck game are you talking about? He's like, is there golf on? Like, I don't know. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, what sport are you watching? He's like, I didn't know you love like University of Ohio volleyball that much. Like, what the fuck is happening? And so they knew, but I muted it and had no idea what they were talking about. And I spent the whole day ignoring, just so I didn't spoil the game that was not happening.
It's funny to think about like them getting that, and if you said the Super Bowl, they're like, and everyone's thinking like, what's next week? Okay, yeah, I guess he's just letting us know like next week. Nobody tell me what's going on because everyone else is thinking next week. I've done that before.
Just like completely missed
you're just like you think something is that day. And you're like hell bent on like this is it. This is it. And then I think back like, were people just thinking that I just lost my goddamn mind?
Right. I know, but you're just being like courteous but friendly. You're just saying like, hey, like I'm doing this later. Don't fucking tell me. Like it's not that crazy. But then the people that I just involved in my journey were not big sports fans. Like Aaron and Tommy and my kids.
They don't care.
They don't give a fuck. They don't know when it was in the first place.
And so why would they even? Why would they even bother you with that anyway? But you felt the need. I just don't want to get spoiled. So just so you know, I don't give a shit.
Like, you got it. You got it, buddy.
whatever you want.
Anything else you want to talk about? Because I don't care about this. Yeah. So that was fun.
I don't have to talk to you. Fine. Great.
No problem. But I wanted to share that one. And there was a listener, a kid that reminded me of that story, I think last week or a couple weeks ago. He goes, you have to talk about that again. It's one of the funniest things I've ever heard. I just lived in an altered universe for an entire fucking day. Like I just created my own universe.
I'm trying to think. I don't have anything right off the top of my head. I know I've done that before though, where you've basically planned your existence around a thing and then it wasn't even that day. And you're just like hell bent on details.
Yep.
And then come to find out it wasn't that. And you're like, oh my God, that's tomorrow.
Like a kid birthday party.
Just everything.
That you're just trying to make it to 3:00 to head out to the birthday party. And you find out it's not today, it's tomorrow. And you're like, fuck me, I planned.
I've done that with kids on the weekend before. Like I got them up to go to school and it was Sunday. You know, like, guys, you have to get up. We're blah, 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 you know, and then I've done that with time before. Like I was so delirious that I didn't know what time it was. I was like, we have to get up. And then I look and it was, I did that when I was supposed to pick up my son the other day. I was tired. I set an alarm because I dozed off. It went off and I got up and I had to get my other son ready and I drive to a school and I'm like, man, it's usually more people here at pickup. I look at the time, I was an hour early.
Nailed
so then
it.
I went down to the store and then bought something.
And then you're a half hour late.
Yeah. I'm waiting in line. Like, yeah, come on, we got to wrap this up.
Like I'm trying to squeeze some shit in.
Yeah.
To cover up my mistake. Yeah.
It's heightened with parenting for sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Anyway, that's funny.
That is funny. Okay, well, we got a couple emails. I know this is going to be a longer opening today, but that's okay.
That's a huge opening.
Just a big, like a big dick or a gaping opening. Mm-hmm. But we asked about workplace accidents among our kids last week, and we did get a bunch of emails sent in, but this one from our son Brandon is next level. Do you have your like cringe pants on? This is fucking crazy.
They're pretty loose. So
okay, well, they're about to get a little tighter. You know what I'm talking about. It says, "Hey, Daddies, Joe and Bryan." Actually, your name's all caps. So
yeah, with
"Hey, Daddies, Joe and Bryan." I had the episode playing in my kitchen where the guy got sucked into a jet engine.
that old story.
that old thing. And it all started with the worst things that we have seen in the kitchen. I personally have cut the tip off my finger. My number 2 has dropped a knife into his foot. But the worst was about 5 years ago. An absolute idiot was doing a boil out on the fryers. If you don't know what that is, it's how you clean a fryer, and I'm going to explain. The oil needs to be hot. It makes cleaning way easier.
Like hot.
Right. I mean, it feels like, you got to spit on it.
I'm assuming his number 2, that's a sous chef, right?
Yeah, someone.
I
don't know enough about
kitchens. I was going to make a stupid suing joke for dropping the knife, but
he had no grounds to sue. You ready? This kitchen was old school with an oil dumpster outside. So to dump the old oil means you fill a metal pot with boiling oil and walk it outside. This means you never fill the pot full. You fill it half full and do more trips back and forth. Like a safety thing.
Yep.
Well, this fucking idiot refused to listen to me and filled the oil to the brim of the pot. And 2 steps in, he tripped and spilt the boiling oil on his legs. He was unfortunately wearing shorts, so it hit bare skin, and he screamed and ran to a bucket of cold water. You know anything about oil and water?
Yeah, don't mix.
We tried to tackle him to stop him, but he dunked his legs in the water and boiling oil, flesh, and muscle. Fuck. I'll get back to the ridiculous scene of like you're trying to tackle someone who is screaming for their life. And
he's trying to go do something he thinks is going to help.
He has moves you didn't know existed.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's
parkouring.
Right. He's doing backflips and spin shit. So it goes on to say, hitting water shredded everything off his legs, most places to the bone. He looked like a cartoon character that put his legs in a river with piranhas.
Oh, that's funny.
The cargo shorts he had on were melted to flesh. Love you guys. Bryan, please do a sexy goose voice for my girl. God. That is so bad. Where is he now?
In a wheelchair?
I mean, skin grafts and stuff. I don't know.
But if it fucked with the muscle, can you walk?
I don't know. That is terrible.
Muscle grow back.
Like, that's just so gross to think about oil shredding your skin. And like, what would have happened if they did successfully sack you or tackle you? Like, would you have been way better off? Would you put it in the water so it just exploded?
So I have a question about that. I know oil and water don't mix, but what happens exactly?
You're asking the wrong fella.
So, like, if you've got, like, I know I always hear that oil and water don't mix, but I've never actually.
Well, they separate. I know that from like our tiny science experiments. When you're a kid, you have the water bottle with the oil and water. But in the case of burning your skin off and you shove it in water, I'm guessing it just like tries to separate itself.
So it just rips your skin. Oh my God.
Awful. That is so bad. Makes me, I feel terrible for that guy. It's a bummer.
The cargo shorts he had on were melted to the flesh too. So he's just got cargo. He's got pockets in his whatever skin is
in
left.
His thighs.
Yeah.
That's one bonus. It's like,
he could be naked and he still has pockets.
Right, he still has a place to put his feet or his muscles, his clumps of skin. Yeah, I mean, that's a cool trick. Built-in pockets
check
in
this
your
out.
body. You're the only one at the beach that has like a pair of pliers.
Imagine like being able to you just wear like a thong, you know? So you're like you have your phone in your
in your
skin
thigh
pocket.
Reminds me of RoboCop. Remember his thigh?
Yeah.
He has his gun in his thigh. Same thing. This guy
Exact
just
same
has
thing.
a same thing.
Guy's a superhero now.
Yeah. Anything you helped, he helped himself.
He could be stranded on an island.
Yeah, and survive.
And he's got compartments.
He's gonna make it. Oh man, I'm looking at the clock. We might have to just kind of gloss over some stuff out the gate. But the crazy things that happen at work, I do actually have another story about that. You ready?
Is your story or
It's
someone else's?
My story.
Okay.
Where it was just in the moment. I mean, everyone was just happy that we got to continue working. But then later on reflecting, I could have fucking lost my leg. So I used to work for a like landscaping company, but we did like big water features. So building like big waterfalls for rich people in their backyard, which goes into a pond. But then also, you know, you would skim ponds, like you would help clear out shit at their, you know, whatever, clear their already existing ponds. So it was like a water landscape job, which sounds weird.
Sorry,
It should be a waterscape job, but
like a little side note here, based on what we talked about earlier, like with Syria and Turkey and third world countries. Are those technically third world countries? I don't know. It's gonna sound so ignorant right now.
Yeah,
but anyway, people that don't have like extravagant things, you know, like someone who's just trying to live versus someone who has like a water feature in their backyard.
Mm-hmm.
Like the difference between, hey, I want a waterfall in my backyard. Can you build a waterfall in my backyard?
Right. Yes. For $500,000. Absolutely.
Fine. Whatever it costs.
No, I think Turkey is a first world country. So there's that. Maybe second world. Some are saying that, but I'm guessing not as strict of building codes that you would have here in the USA. But okay, so we did all that, and these are massive boulders, tons, multi-ton boulders that you would place as these accent pieces. So working at the headquarters of, you know, my employer, what he was doing was all around the shop was putting in examples of things that he did. Whatever you wanted. Here's a pond, here's a waterfall, and all this kind of shit.
So you could look at it and say, I want that.
Yeah, or whatever. Just show them off. Like if they pop over and they want to talk to you, they look outside like, oh, this is some big time shit, right? It's like your 3D business card. So we're doing that this day, and we have a crane, and this crane is moving in this massive fucking boulder. I don't remember exactly how many tons, but a fucking huge rock.
Doesn't matter. Once it's past a ton, it doesn't fucking matter.
And I'm under it, so I'm guiding it into place. I know. This could have been really bad.
Do you have some of those cones that you're
no,
like the airplane?
And then I
cones?
got sucked into a jet engine. This was at the airport. It was actually by an airport. That's a side quest. So I'm under it, and it's hard to get the stone exactly where you want it without kind of, you know. It's in a sling, and you push it into place.
Okay.
And then when you swing it in, then the crane can drop it, blah, blah, blah. So we're swinging this thing around, and for whatever reason, the sling that we put it in, the rope like broke. Like those things are made to carry so many pounds.
Does it look like a giant nutsack?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like you would hang from the back of a truck?
And these, I don't know what they're made of, but like Teflon, like strong ass towing ropes. Like you could yank a semi-truck out of a river down a cliff. Like these are big fucking straps. And this one ripped and then it slid out. So the rock hit the other strap and then bounced out sideways, and it's fucking coming towards me as I'm guiding this thing in, right? So as I see it break, I drop down. I fall down as far as I can, and I fall and my legs go between two other big rocks. And the rock lands right on my legs. Right? And like my instinct is to fucking scream because I don't know if my leg's gone. Like I can't fucking figure it out. The giant rock fell out of the slings, came down, and it pinched my leg between the other two stones.
So was it like a triangle gap and
Pretty
your
much.
legs were in the
Right.
gap?
So I dropped down, and the one that just happened to go between two big rocks, and then that big rock went on top.
Right, okay.
So I felt it pushing my skin, but I didn't know how bad it was. And
Did it hurt?
A little bit, but this was like right away.
Yeah.
Where like as it was falling and hit, I was like scared the shit out of me because I think something bad is happening.
Yeah, your legs are gone.
And I can't move my leg, but then the more time I spent there looking at it and analyzing it, it was just pushing pushing my leg hard, but didn't break anything. And we had to just basically get a chisel and knock out the other stones so I could slide my leg out.
Ugh.
And nothing happened. No scratches, no blood. I did not lose my leg, but that
inches
fucking close from just destroying my fucking leg.
Well, even like trying to chisel it out.
Then you all just carry on.
What if you chiseled it out wrong and it caved in and you?
He was so worried. I mean,
your boss.
He saw his whole company.
Oh yeah.
Going
Not
away.
that it was your life; it was this company's gonna lose.
No, but I mean, but there was just like it was a huge moment, and then it was you're a guy, so then they just ask you okay, yeah, and then you just get another sling and fucking move the rock into place.
Can you walk?
Yeah,
I can walk.
I can.
All right, hop back up there.
You don't want to be a pussy.
Yeah.
So I just got back up and worked to the end of the day, and then later reflected, and I was like, that was that could have been really
terrifying.
Bad, really bad, and nothing.
Like how many you see videos of close calls like on YouTube or whatever, like something flying and someone just happens to like pick something up and turn, and if they would have stayed there a half second more. Like that's one of those stories.
And people wrote in about that first, the jet engine video we watched. People wrote in, we didn't watch the entire video, but what happened was he got sucked in and then his helmet came off and stopped the fucking blades. Did you remember that? So we watched the video. I don't think it was
a different video.
Yeah, it wasn't the video of the actual story. It was the other one where the guy got sucked into the jet engine. So what happened was his helmet came off and stopped the blade. So that's how he lived.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, I know. Okay, anyway, so we got one more message. This was coming in from our medical son, Steve. And I didn't remember the name of the medication about the exploding boner side effect. Remember that? Anyway, it's trazodone. It's an antidepressant that's used for sleep now. The side effect is called priapism. Priapism. And that's just where the blood doesn't leave your erection. So that's cool.
So you're just sleeping because you're using it for sleep.
I love how
your dick explodes.
I love how it started as an antidepressant. And it just made everyone so tired that they couldn't be sad. And they're like, we'll just use it as a sleep aid.
And then your dick blows up and you become more depressed.
Yeah, well.
Now it's like,
but you're getting great
I didn't have anything to look forward to before, and now now I can't jerk off.
Getting great fucking sleep, though.
You know what they need to do is call that frickin' Dick Farm guy. Remember the Dick Farm guy from way back? Wait, what happened?
Oh, no. Fix it. I can't turn your mic off. It came unscrewed. Oh, man, this is going to sound really good.
Maybe I'll wait till the break. Take a little break.
Yeah, let's do that. All right, are you ready to move on?
Yeah.
Okay, that was the most genius thing ever. We were like, I'll just wait. We would have sat here for 4 minutes and listened to you screw your mic back in, and then took the break. That would have been what we would have done.
I learned my lesson with the people wearing earbuds and noises.
Right. Okay, let's move on.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, what's up, babe?
What are you thinking about?
Nothing. Actually, you know what? I'm thinking about a lot of shit.
What are you thinking about?
All right, Joe.
Yeah?
We're going to skip the Would You Rather today. Because we came in hot with stories.
We did. A lot of them.
And now we have more.
We have a ton of good stories.
Yeah.
So we'll just give it the proper time it deserves at a later date.
Well, and I wanted to do this whatever the fuck it's called.
What are you thinking about?
Yeah. I wanted to do this last week, but I thought it was a little bit too soon. The wound was a little bit too fresh.
Oh, it's so good.
I did something stupid while my wife was on. Well, yeah, it's a matter of perspective, I guess. I mean, it is stupid. Don't try to defend me. Everyone's trying to defend me.
Well, that's because we don't have to go home to your wife.
Right.
So from everyone else's perspective besides yours, pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, of course we're trying to defend you.
She went on a vacation to New Orleans with some friends and had a good time.
Nolans!
And before we were, I was having lunch with a buddy, and we were talking about cars, and he was talking about how he just really wanted to get something new. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, let's go car shopping.
Mix it up, spice it up.
Yeah, it's nice to do every once in a while, right? Mm-hmm. So we left lunch, went down to a BMW dealership.
Okay.
And and then it became like, well, I could probably use something new too. So then he was like, he texted his guy that works down there, and I was like, well, I don't know if we should do that. And he's like, well, I'll just text him because we could maybe drive something. Mm-hmm. And so we go down there, we're looking around, and I've been wanting a Tesla for years. Like this is something I've been really interested in for a long time. And there was a couple there. There was like a Model S that's 114K or whatever. It's like that's what I want. Sure, but that's not so unreasonable.
Getting. Yeah.
But they had they had a Model 3 there, a long range. And I was like, God, I've been looking for one of these. And we go, and we were talking about it. And he's like, you want to drive it? And I was like, yeah. So we drove it around. And
do I?
And then we went inside and, and sat down. And I'm cutting this way short. But, he does the old, what, do you want it? Yeah, all that kind of stuff. And I'm like,
show me the car.
And I'm like, well, like right now, it's not something that I would want to do right now because my wife's going on vacation. Mm-hmm. She's already stressed out about leaving. She's gets anxiety for traveling and then leaving kids and everything. So I don't want to. And he's like, well, what do we got to do to get you in this thing? Or I'm telling you, like, well, I'll come back next week or something, and we can talk about it. I can't do this and then tell her, hey, no, sorry, I can't pick up my kid from school because I'm buying a car. Mm-hmm. Stress her out more. So I got out of that and went home. And then I was like, I don't want to tell her. And then I finally just kind of told her because I thought it'd be a fun story that we had this conversation. And I was like, but I knew I shouldn't do anything because I didn't want to stress you out. And she's like, oh, that's funny. And it kind of like made her laugh and kind of forget about having anxiety about leaving, all that kind of stuff. So it was kind of a happy thing. And she's like, it's not that, like you can get the car. Look, just, we'll wait till I get back from vacation, do all this stuff, blah, blah, blah.
I didn't know about all this. I love this. Keep going.
Yeah. And, and this is why it's probably even worse. But, so while she's gone,
I take my defending you.
Yeah.
Keep going.
That's what I'm saying. So like while she's gone, we're texting back and forth, having fun. And I was kind of just looking on the internet like I always do just for things. And then I saw there was one in town, a 21 Model 3 in town. And, it was long. It was all the stuff that I've been looking for in this thing. And it was underpriced for what they're valued at. Mm-hmm. On the thing, it said, a hidden gem. It was like fantastic deal. It had all these labels. I'm like, oh God,
look at you, hot.
So
buy now.
I was like, I just want to go look at this thing. So I go out to look at it by myself, and then I walk up to it. I'm like, oh,
look at you.
I have to have this thing. I have to have it. And I'm talking to the guy. I'm like, well, I have 2 kids that I have to pick up from school today. So I don't know. We'll kind of see if this happens. Mm-hmm. And so in the middle, I'm like, I have to go. We're like talking. I have to go pick up my son. I have to drive all the way. It's like a 40-minute drive back home because it's way out. And then I get him, and then I'm waiting for a call back on details and all this kind of stuff. And then he calls back. Long story short, I have one of my sons. I go back out and go through the process. I'm like, fuck it, we're just going to do it. Mm-hmm. And then I have to go pick up my other kids. So we're like, it's this back and forth, like crazy day. But the worst part of this whole thing is that I never told my wife that I was doing this. Mm-hmm. And there's no excuse, nothing I can say that like she comes home from her vacation excited to see everybody. Mm-hmm. And she rolls up at like 1 o'clock in the morning.
And there's a Tesla sitting in the fucking driveway.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
And
happy anniversary.
She walks in and she's like, she just looks at me. She's like, you got a Tesla?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, fuck.
We got a Tesla. That's what you should. That would have been the best line.
In my head at the time, I was thinking like, oh, it'll be fun, exciting.
She likes T words like Tesla.
Yeah, but the thing was, is if she's like, why didn't you? Well, first of all, why didn't you tell me? That was the big.
I did. That's what she just said.
That was where she was hurt the most, is that I didn't tell her.
Yeah.
And which I totally acknowledge. I fucked that up big time, because she would have been, if she came back, we waited a few days. I talked about it, and we went and did it.
Yeah.
That would have been one thing, but just doing it and then not telling her is such a massive thing.
Well, yeah. I mean, sure. I mean, there's crazier things that can happen, but I just love that. Picturing you bringing it up, like, you're not going to believe this. The funniest thing happened today. I almost bought a Tesla without talking to you about it. And she goes, "Oh my God, that's hilarious." And the next day, you just go buy a Tesla.
I know.
Like, that's the punchline.
That, and she
You're not
told me,
gonna
she's
believe
like,
this.
she's
I
like,
almost left the kids at school and forgot to pick them up. She goes, "Oh no, what happened?" You're like, "Crazy." And the next day, you just leave them at school. It's just
the exact scenario that we were joking about.
around about. God, that's so good.
And she even said, like, if we hadn't have had that conversation before we left, she probably would have been less mad.
Yeah,
but the fact that we talked about it, and she said, "Just wait," and all that, and then still happened. I can't even explain.
Yeah.
My rationale.
You just wanted the car.
And I felt like it was going to get swiped up.
Does she like the car?
She's coming around on it.
Right. Okay.
After the sting and everything is wearing off.
Yeah.
She still likes, we have a nice Explorer. She still prefers like an SUV.
Yeah.
But so she's going to let me have it for a while, which is fair.
That's fine. I have a very similar story, not Tesla big. But a pretty big one. So, Erin was sleeping. She was working, right? I think she was just getting off her work shift. And I had the kids. And then I think she just woke up, and I had to run to the store. I was like, "No, don't worry about it. We're going to make dinner.
Got to get eggs.
I got to get some egg stuff." And I was like, "I'm just going to go to Costco. They have like the awesome fettuccine Alfredo or whatever. The great warm them up in the oven meals." So I went to Costco. I'm walking in.
And right up front
is a fucking 85-inch television. for
the light shining down.
God damn, it looked good. Like those HDR preview
they
screens.
put it right, like you give them your card, and then you turn to walk in, and it's looking at you.
It is catered to whatever mood I was in. The same mood you were in when you bought a Tesla was the same mood I was in when I looked at this 85-inch television. I did not need it, but the more I thought about it, I was like, I mean, pretty fucking sweet though.
Yeah.
Nice kind of
would be nice to have that.
I stood back, leaned into it a little bit, and I was like, God, man, I was like, I think this will fit.
Yeah, you start to think about, okay, how far is the couch?
Right. It's not even about how cool the TV is. Like, when the TV is so big that it's not even about that. It's about, will it fit on the fucking wall?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
85 inches is huge.
Thank you. And I decide not only am I going to get the chicken Alfredo, but I'm also in a couple gallons of milk that come in the weird shapes at Costco for whatever reason. I'm not sure why. I'm also going to come home with 85-inch television. So before I buy it, same buddy that I talked to about the Super Bowl situation. I call my friend. He's got a truck. This shit ain't fitting in my fucking car.
Oh my God.
And if he would not have picked up the phone, or if he had been busy, I probably wouldn't have that TV right now.
It's his fault.
And he loves this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. I'm like, I should get it. He goes, get it. I'll be there in 5 minutes. I'm like, fuck, all right. So I buy it. They pack it up. He has a big truck.
You have to have a big truck.
Like it was like a fucking, how big do Fords go? Fucking F50?
150, F350.
Yeah, so it's a dually. It's a big ass truck.
It's for carrying trailers.
Barely laid down in the back of it. Like that's how big this thing is. And we squish it in and we get home. You're moving it out the back of the truck.
Okay, so he drove it home and you drove your car.
Yes.
So your TV is in his truck. And you're carpooling or convoying home.
Yeah, going home, and you're gonna help me get it out. And we park out front, and we're like picking this fucking 6,000-pound television out of the back of the truck. And Aaron walks out, just like all kind of like nonchalant. She goes, "What's that?" I was like, "Oh, is that dinner?" She didn't say that. That'd be funny. That's the biggest fucking chicken Alfredo I've ever seen. And I was like, "Oh no, I got TV." And she's like, "Where are you gonna put it?" I was like, "The living room." She goes, "Okay." I'm like, "So my buddy's there, so she can't get mad yet,
Mm-hmm.
right? She has to prolong the madness." Until I get the television inside. So we slide it in, and my buddy Tom, he can kind of sense that he shouldn't be there.
All right, Joe, I think I'm going to dip out.
It's so heavy, like you just have to like shove it across the floor. And then he just goes, "All right." I'm like, "Thanks." He goes, "All right, thank you." And he shuts it, and she goes, "Where the fuck are you going to put?" I was like, "Right there." And she goes, "It won't even fucking fit." And I was like, "I think it will." So I have to measure the area, and it fit in this little space between the piano and the corner by 2 fucking inches. And she had to take down pictures of our family, of our fucking friends, like art, like custom art that we had bought that was on the wall. And move it and just get it all out of the way so I could hang this fucking TV.
So it's all like set up against a different wall, just moved everything.
And then here's the best part. Or the worst part if you're Aaron. Best part if you think that fucking crazy shit is funny. So I get everything out of the way and it's primed. I put the mounting on the back. I get the bracket screwed to the wall because you have to get a big fucking bracket. This thing weighs, I swear to God, it was hundreds and hundreds of pounds. So I can't lift it by myself. So I gotta walk to her. She's already fucking so mad. And I have to go, "Can you help me mount this television?"
I love it because it's one of those things where, fine, you already did it, but this is your thing. You deal with it, but then you have to ask her for help.
It was like the little kid that's like kicking the dirt.
Yeah.
Hey. And so the whole time it's heavy. Like it's a bitch. So the whole time we're struggling to get this thing up, and she just burning. Her eyes are burning through my skull, and she's staring at me from the other side of the television. And I'm like, "It's gonna be great." And she hated it for so long. But then every now and again, like weeks into it, you watching a movie out there. And I turned to her and be like, "I mean, it's pretty cool, right?" Mm-hmm. And then eventually she was like, "Yeah, fucking cool." But I was, dude, we got rid of the piano, because it didn't fit.
Yeah, you had to get a storage unit.
It was wedged in to a barely fit. Fucking, and it's awesome though.
That's the funny thing.
Fucking sick.
About that kind of stuff is, I've done this before. Mm-hmm. With Amber, like not the Tesla thing, but like stuff like that where like I went and I got a projector. It's got 120 inches and spent and like got surround sound and stuff. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing? And that initial sting.
Oh yeah.
And then after that dies down, and then we put on fucking the Dark Knight
in 4K.
Yeah, and with full 9.1 Dolby Atmos sound. And then she's kind of, "Okay, this is pretty cool."
She goes, "All right, okay."
Even driving the car, I let her drive it to Coeur a few days ago, and
that's what it takes.
She goes, "Okay, it's fun," because we got on the freeway and she just and she goes, "Okay, this is fun."
Zips off.
Yeah, but it's that initial sting. Like, I can't believe you fucking did that. But because I think I know what this sounds awful, but like I think I know what is fun and what's cool. And if I can just get it, like, I'll show you how cool it is. The first time I got surround sound or a big TV, she was like, "We don't need that big of a TV." And I'm like, "No, we don't need that big of a TV." But then after that comes off, she's like, "Okay." She's happy that we have it, but in the time, like, what the fuck were you doing?
Just, we don't need that. You're like, "Okay, let's define need."
Yeah, well, yeah. What does need mean?
What does need mean anyway?
Yeah.
Like, in today's world,
like, we don't need ice cream, but we buy it.
Right. Like, you don't need that fucking shirt.
Yeah.
She's like, "What are you doing?"
You don't need three pairs of shoes that look exactly the same.
We don't need this couch.
Yeah.
So bear with me for a second.
Too many people don't have couches.
Yeah. So I think you're being a little much right now.
Let's back off a little bit.
Let's back off a little bit. She's like, what? Like she can't hear you because you keep cranking up fucking Dark Knight.
Yeah.
So what I think we should do.
Pictures falling off the wall. You don't have to worry about that because you took all your pictures down.
All the pictures down, dude. And they just sat next to it for so long, just reminding me of fucking what I've done. The opening of the show has done even 50 minutes.
Yeah.
And the first two things, which I mean, hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. We just had some really fucking funny stories we had to tell today. Do you want to move on to Dick? We'll get at least a little Dick in here.
Yeah, we'll get a slight little Dick in.
All right, we'll slow sliver.
Yeah.
All right, we'll push it in.
Is it dumb? Is it interesting? Is it cool? Then it's Dick Big.
Oh, and before we get into it, I just wanted to mention, I know that what we just talked about is a very familiar situation. So if you have something or an example, a story of you going out and buying some shit, not talking to your partner or your spouse about, and then being pissed about it, I want to hear it. So send that in to heyguys@canyoudon'tpodcast.com.
Mostly because we don't want to feel like the assholes.
the only ones. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna bet that there's some wild shit coming.
Oh yeah.
All right. So what do you have for our Dick this week, homie?
Well, it's funny that it's called Dick because the story is Spanish High Court backs man's right to walk naked in the street.
Okay.
This is from Madrid. A Spanish High Court has ruled in favor of a man who was fined for walking naked through the streets of a town in the region of Valencia and later tried to attend court hearing in the nude.
So he showed up naked?
Yeah.
The balls, am I right?
Yeah, the balls on this guy. Look at him dangling.
Right there.
In a statement, the region's high court said had struck down the appeal against the lower court decision to annul fines handed out to the man for being naked in the streets of Aldea. Oh, he's doing it all day. Mm-hmm. A town of outskirts, the regional capital.
Okay.
The court, however, acknowledged a legal vacuum in Spanish law recording public nudity. Alejandro Colomar, 20, was filmed arriving at court wearing just a pair of hiking boots before he ordered to put clothes on and into the building. At his trial, he argued that the fines infringed on his right to ideological freedom. He told Reuters he's been stripping in public in 2020 and received more support than insults when walking around naked, although he once felt threatened with a knife.
Oh, he was once threatened
with a knife.
Not felt. Fucking straight up. Guys, put your dick away.
Yeah, so basically the fine doesn't make any sense. He said, they accused me of obscene exhibitionism. According to the dictionary, that implies sexual intent or that nothing to do with what I was doing. Okay. So I guess from what I understand, I don't want to read the whole thing, but public nudity has been illegal in Spain since the 80s. Mm-hmm. But they're basically saying that what he's doing is it's with sexual intent.
What if, he
just walk around going,
yeah, where's the miscommunication?
Yeah.
Like he just has he naturally walks with a hip thrust.
And so his wiener flaps back and forth.
Or just a weird twist. Mm-hmm. So it's just wiener's going back and forth, left thigh, right thigh, left thigh, right thigh.
Yeah. So if you're just standing there, just walking normal, you're fine. Mm-hmm. But as soon as that dick starts flapping, that's the intent.
Issue. Right. So you can start hearing that thunderclap. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Dude, this guy showing up to court naked.
That's what's so funny to me.
Dude, after getting in trouble for being naked, it reminds me of a video that has gone viral. I haven't seen it in a bit, but it's so good. This guy, I want to say it was stealing. He was a thief. And he showed up to court in the exact same clothes that they had on the CCTV. He's wearing the same outfit. And you're like, is this you?
Very specific clothes.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what it was, but just imagine some super recognizable thing, like a Tweety bird, the size of your whole chest, with
pink shoes,
with Beetlejuice pants on, just something like that. And for a hat, he was wearing a fucking beer helmet that had the koozies in it.
Yeah,
and he just shows up, and you're like, "That's you, dude. That's not me."
Look at that! That guy's got dark hair,
or whatever the empty cup noise is. Mm-hmm. That's not me.
It's just the ultimate I don't give a fuck, right?
It just burps. That's not me.
That's not me.
That's not me. Oh man.
It's funny. The reason the reason I found it funny is because yes, he showed up to court naked, which is like, that's a big fuck you. But it just got me thinking, like, all the things that you could do, like in situations like, kind of like you were saying, like, let's say a guy gets tried for stealing a car or something like that.
Yeah.
Let's say it's a red Firebird car,
Custom paint job.
Yeah, and he's like I'm innocent, all that, and then he rolls up to court in that car,
Peels out.
Yeah,
Just a 180 into the only parallel parking spot available in front of the
and then he
courthouse.
gets that, walks in, he's like, still, I'm innocent, and the car in question is obviously in that parking spot.
Like he stole someone's dog and he just shows up with the dog.
Walking the dog.
He's like, I've had this dog for so long.
The dog's like taking a dump, and
He's like, hey, get down. Hey.
hey, whatever. Rover doesn't know his name.
Just yelling out. I've had this dog for so long. So long, you have no
Can you
idea.
see how much he loves me? He's like,
dude, had this dog forever, dude. Like, there's no way.
he's like, he's growling at you. Yeah, it's just something we do.
Or like something like pretty big, like not even an item, but like arson. For whatever reason. He's getting tried for arson, and the whole time he just keeps on flipping a Zippo open.
Yeah. He's like,
He's like doing like the little Zippo trips or tricks where he like flicks it around.
in the court. He's sitting at the court in the courtroom.
He's like, no, not guilty, Your Honor. And he's playing with fire the whole time.
Yeah,
He's like fireballs. He sits down, and before he like gets down his little chair, he sits down a backpack full of Roman candles. Just like shit that like, what are you doing? Like you can't just do that. He walks in with a bundle of wood and gasoline. Nope. It wasn't me.
Or lighter fluid.
Oh yeah.
He's just sniffing lighter fluid.
He's like, no, it wasn't me. What do you? He's like, I don't know. I guess I always have I always have lighter fluid in a bundle of wood.
Oh, you don't do that?
You don't do that? I never know when I'm gonna like have to be warm.
Yeah, you never know. Like, you might get stranded somewhere and have to light something on fire. Kind of like a house.
What, murdering somebody? That's a fun one. You
Yes.
show up like you're just like blood all over you. How much do you not care at that point?
Yeah, you don't give a fuck.
Didn't even try.
Yeah. I like the idea of the person, like, let's say you killed Ted.
Fuck Ted.
And
Well, Ted's a piece of shit.
we can't find Ted. They've never found Ted's body.
Ted's gone. Ted's dead.
Yeah, they think that he's at the bottom of a river somewhere. Like, they cannot find him. And then the court hearing is that day. He walks up and he's like Weekend at Bernie's
Right,
with
with Ted?
Yeah, he's
Ted's
like got
fine.
shades on.
Ted's right here.
He's like doing the whole hand wave.
What are you guys all so worried about? Like,
Yeah.
just, like right on the chin. He's like, I'm in fun. I'm having so much fun with Kevin.
Yeah. Dude,
He's my
we're
best
like
friend.
best friends.
He would
dude.
never hurt me.
Yeah.
Like he's making the teeth noise when he's fucking
His
doing the
head's
mouth.
just dangling.
Yeah. We've never had more fun together.
And he's a terrible ventriloquist, so his mouth's moving when he's doing it. Oh, Kevin would never hurt me.
What a show that would be to watch from the judge's perspective. Just like, am I alive right now? What is happening?
See, here's the problem. Everyone thinks that Ted's dead and thinks that I did it. But here's the thing: Ted's not dead.
how could I
How
do it?
could I have done it if I'm with Ted right now?
Ted has been with me the whole time. How
And
can
they
I
show
kill
him over. He's like,
Sit up. Quit slouching.
quit
Fucking
slouching. That's poor posture.
little stick on his back. You fucking prop him up.
Or he brings a couple of buddies to hold him up.
to help out. There's there's an endless amount of crimes that to show up and be doing the exact thing is so funny. I mean, drugs. You're just fucking high out of your mind. Got a literal suitcase of cocaine.
You sit down at the desk and you open up your little, like, Cobain
Smoking weed.
Yeah. Well, like Cobain, he had like a little heroin box, you know? So you show up and
What happened? Oh, you kicked
my coffee over. You sit down and you're just like having a conversation, opening up the lid, you're like getting the spoon out and you're like lighting the however they do heroin.
They're like how do you? I don't even know what they say. Like, how do you plead? Blah blah. And he has like the rubber band in his mouth.
Not guilty.
Not guilty. And then like the little cap.
Flicks the cap off onto the ground, roll
And just Not guilty at all. Actually,
he's got not guilty.
you pull on the whole fucking tubing. Not guilty, Your Honor. And he's like, sticks the needle and he goes, in fact, I've never felt better. I've never been better.
And he just kind of trails off into like,
And they're like, okay, well, he's like, have I told you guys about the time that me and Dave Grohl, where he just like starts telling stories? Sir.
There's just needle holes all over his arm.
Too much. It's too much.
Not guilty, sir. How do you plead?
This has been I have enjoyed just fucking going off on stories on today's episode. I mean, yeah, I know it means that we're going to have to skip some stuff. That's okay. That's fine. And speaking of that, we should probably move on before this goes on forever.
Oh, okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Hooray, we aren't doomed.
Hey, Bryan,
Yeah.
do you have some good news over there you could share with the class?
I do.
Please?
We were talking about an earthquake earlier. This doesn't relate, but it's interesting.
Okay.
So this 5-year-old girl who emptied a piggy bank for earthquake relief now wins $48 million lottery jackpot at 18.
What?
A delightful story from Northern Ontario saw a 5-year-old girl's good karma wait 13 years to reward her. Juliette Lamour won the state's second largest lottery jackpot in history. 48 million Canadian dollars on her first ever try. Local news from her home city of Sault Ste. Marie revealed a touching side of the story that had 5-year-old Lamour made a very big act of charity, and the suggestion that her generosity has been rewarded is impossible to resist making.
That's so cool.
2010, and the island of Haiti had just been ravaged by the earthquake. 8 organizations across the world rushed to help the people of the obliterated country stabilize and recover. And basically, this gal at 5 years old, she emptied out her piggy bank and donated,
which was useless.
Yeah, $61.38, which did nothing.
That's a pretty hefty piggy bank, though, for a
But to
5-year-old.
her, like, that did nothing for the people of Haiti.
Yeah, well, the parents didn't have the heart.
Yeah.
To be like, here, hold on. Now we have to buy a new fucking... Like, she did the whole hammer to the piggy bank thing. The parents are like, God damn it.
Yeah.
Like,
do you know how expensive those are?
That's going to cost at least $25, gives you another ceramic piggy bank.
Yeah, so now you're
we'll take
down
that
to
out.
$37.
So we'll subtract that, you doofus.
And now you got to clean up this mess.
I got to clean up this mess. I guess we'll send $20 to Haiti. Go to bed. Just like so mean
how
about
much
it.
it's going to take to send the money to Haiti, shipping and all that.
Different fees, yeah.
So they got $5.
What you've done is waste everyone's time. It's this weird lesson from some asshole
But
parents.
13 years later, she won $48 million. So
no, I love the idea of Ezra is very empathetic in that way. He cannot watch if something is sad. Unfortunately for him, which we're obviously working on forever, is if he gets sad, he doesn't like it, and immediately it turns to like anger. No matter what it is. It could be a movie. If the movie makes him sad, now he's fucking pissed that the movie made him sad. It could be a friend, a parent, anybody. If you make him sad, but unfortunately for him, he cares a lot about other people. He always knows what that is. He always asks about how whatever sad thing's going on. He wants to learn more about it, and his intent is to how can I help?
Is to go into a rage fit and hurt somebody?
My whole intent is I'm going to solve this problem by killing everybody that's involved with it. Yeah, I mean that's one way to solve it.
I mean that people could say that's it would be like he's enacting revenge.
Yeah.
On people that are doing
making
harm.
him sad. Yeah. Don't make Ezra sad ever.
Or don't make somebody else sad because then I will murder you.
I will kill you. It's going to be interesting how this plays out. But we're hoping for the best for him, and we think it's going to be okay.
Yeah,
please don't kill anybody.
Definitely don't want to murder people.
No, thanks. But good on this little girl doing a nice thing. 48 million at 18. I mean, as long as she doesn't have some crazy addictions, or she's going to be set. She's all good with investments.
I imagine
real estate.
You know what's funny? Not funny, but people are going to be like, "Well, are you still looking to help people out?" And they're going to start trying to ask her for money. And
that's why if I ever win the lottery, I'm going to do what some people have done: is you just wear a mask to their, like they always want to do pictures.
Like a scream mask.
Yeah, that one guy that wore the scream mask. But other people have worn like just other masks.
With Darth Vader. That's what I would do.
Or like the bank robber mask. They just don't want people to know. So just do
people
that.
come out of the woodwork.
Yep. Yep, absolutely. They anything.
What does that mean?
You have ever done woodwork? I'm guessing that's out of the
woodwork.
woods. I'm guessing out of the woods.
Well, but how did that come into?
I have no idea.
Out of the woodwork.
What is that? Where was that? What is a woodwork?
Apparently to this, to appear or emerge unexpectedly or inexplicably, frequently in large numbers of quantity. He won the lottery. He won the lottery last year, and he has old friends and the distant relatives coming out of the woodwork ever since. That was the
example.
Yep,
the sentence. I feel like maybe it is only tied to lotteries. Yeah, you know what? Lotteries and woodwork always together.
Well, it's because you moved to the woods
to get away from everybody,
and they all come out of the woods.
We were sent something that's funny on the internet. Want to talk about it?
Yeah.
Okay.
The internet is pretty wild. Depending on your browsing habits, you can either experience something super cool or go to prison. Crazy, right? Let's check it out together as a couple. Hey, look what I found.
Yes, that's awesome. All right, Bryan. Hey, Bryan. This was sent in by our daughter Jennifer. And it's so funny because I mean I know you've got a bin, I've got a bin. I've got bins.
I've done multiple videos on this very topic.
About the bin topic?
Yeah.
So you can buy a Dad Cords playset, and what it does is it just grabs anonymous, just random cables. Like, there's some HDMI, some VGA, some whatever these are called. These are some AV cables. And they wrap them up, and then the packaging just says a bunch of useless cables, and you can buy it and send it off.
That your dad refuses to throw out.
So it just hangs out in that bin because you never know when you need it. So if this is on a website that's Death by Toys, so if you go there and you search for the Dad's Cords playset, it will show up, and you can take a look at what we're talking about. But it's pretty funny. It's fun. I mean, I have some success stories with the bin of cords. Do you have some?
Yep.
But it's usually, they're not really as cool as I've hoped they'd be. A lot of it is exactly what the old thing was that the cables came from. It just kind of gets re-brought out, and you're like, I have the cable for this exact item.
My Atari, I wanted to play it, and I still have the...
Have the Atari?
Oh yeah, I have it all, but I still have the. It's like I still have the cord to play the Atari. What if I didn't keep it?
What's the dumbest cord that you could hold on to?
Well, I mean, like,
what do you think? I mean, the AV cables, the yellow, white, and whatever fucking color, red.
A lot of gaming systems use those, but I would say those cords from like that attach a tower to a monitor.
Yeah, the VGA,
the VGA, and then like a Nokia. Phone, the brick charger, which I still have.
The extra Ethernet cables that come with
tons of. Dude, I have like 100 feet.
If the apocalypse comes and for some reason Ethernet cables are currency, I've got a chance,
dude.
Like I'm gonna make it.
My fucking bin. It's got all these things, but then there's loops and all, and it's like. Coax cable.
Oh yeah, that's a good one too.
It's just intertwined, whatever, in all the other cords. If I pull that out,
braided,
it's all attached to that.
Coax cables are pretty good. Like when you move or change, like it's always a sign. If the cable company is willing to leave it, you don't need it. Because if it was that valuable, they'd take it.
Yeah, there's like 50 feet rolled up in the corner, and they're like, well, you can just have this.
Yeah, they're like, I don't, yeah. You try to bring it back, and they get mad.
Yeah.
They're like, no, we don't fucking, you keep it.
We're not a warehouse.
You're like, oh, shit. You're like, thank you. And you put it in your prized bin in case you have a television you need to plug in 400 feet away.
The thing is, you never we haven't had cable
right, exactly.
in so long that I don't need any of that stuff, but you just never know.
And well, with the coax cables,
that's my whole thing is you just never know.
And it's not, I mean, who's it killing? Who's it hurting?
It's just taking up one little corner.
Is it goofy? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm keeping it.
But When we need that cord, who's laughing now?
Who's laughing now? When we're all about to die, but we got to watch the news, and only way to do it is the coax cable.
Yeah, what if we need to know what's going on?
Who are you gonna call?
No one else knows what's going on in the world except for us, because I still have that fucking cable.
Yeah, you and me and every other dad that has 400 coax cables in their garage.
You know what's funny about that is I just thought I was doing what I should do, and then you realize
instinctually,
like I just made a video about it, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, my husband, blah blah blah." This, I'm like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah,
like that is a thing,
you know.
And you don't even. I'm just like a dog. You know, a dog knows to bury its bone. Mm-hmm. It doesn't. No one tells it to. Mm-hmm. It's just like, in its DNA.
This is what I'm doing.
That's actually kind of funny concept.
I'm hiding this.
Mm-hmm. It's like dads just do that. It's in their DNA. I'm saving all the cords.
And that's why I have 400 sauce packets in the fridge too.
Yeah.
And just built in.
Oh yeah, everyone's got a fucking basket of like ketchup packets
Taco Bell sauces.
Yeah, Taco Bell that I will never use, but I can tell you where it is right now.
But when you do,
on the microwave.
But when you do,
it's sitting on top of the microwave right now as we speak. I know it is.
I've come across those moments where it's like, fuck, we're out of ketchup. I'm like, no, we're not.
No, we're not.
Hold on.
Ah, dude, I forgot to get ketchup at the store. It's fine.
Or it's like, oh my God, we're out of paper towels. Like, well, we got good news. Little cupboard open. You got 5,000 napkins.
Or your glove box.
Arby's napkins.
Like I've got Wendy's. What do you want? Wendy's? Arby's? What do you want?
What do you want here? You fucking dishing them out?
Pick a napkin. Any napkin. I got an Arby's. Arby's are a little bit better.
Check the
Some
box.
of them are really stiff.
Right.
Like Arby's are stiff. Mm-hmm. If I don't have to use those, I don't want to.
No, those are for special occasions. Those are for your anniversary.
Imagine having to use those in the woods. I'd rather use leaves.
I'd rather just don't use anything at that point. All right, let's hear from some of the kids.
Okay.
You ready?
All right, let's hear what you guys think.
Really? You want to talk to me? Wow, that's cool.
All right, Joseph.
I'm here.
This one is in reference to last week.
Okay.
When we talked about having like the dad's only bar or like the 35.
Yeah. A safe place.
Yeah, safe place
Basically,
for dads, no kids around.
And girls. You just have to be a certain age.
Yeah, you have to be a certain age.
Yeah.
This comes from our high in the sky son, Eric.
Okay.
Hey guys, airline pilot here. The dad-only bar you're describing is the Hilton at every airport ever. Old-ass pilots sitting around complaining about kids these days. Go to any Hilton at any airport ever. Oh, it even closes at 10.
Nice.
Second, rampers walk up to the plane and do dumb shit constantly.
Okay.
I literally had to flash the landing lights to get some guy out of the way the other day because he was playing the air drums with the marshalling batons instead of looking at the running jet.
Dude,
so he's playing with those things.
It's like you're trying to back out of a parking spot.
Yeah.
You're like, what the fuck? You look you adjust the rearview mirror. And there's a guy back there fucking playing the air drums behind your car. You're like, dude.
And now you're in an airplane.
Right.
On a tarmac.
When the thing that could happen is sucked through a fucking jet engine.
Get ran over by an airplane. I've got people on board that I've...
Yeah. Don't want to see that.
Their life. And lastly, it's pronounced Embraer.
Oh, Embraer?
That's because you were fucking that up last week.
Sure
I don't
was.
remember how you even said it.
Embraer or something like that?
That sounds very white guy.
I tried.
With love, your dumbass flying kid, Eric.
Man.
That's so funny, though. He's like, every Hilton ever. It's the same group of guys sitting in that place.
I bet it is. I mean, there's a lot of the same people in like the airport situation. Like if you're sitting and waiting for your plane, there's almost every type of person that is around you.
You know what's funny is it really does seem like there's like a cookie cutter thing. Like there's this person, this guy, this woman, and they're all basically come from like 7 different people with slight variations.
You got sleepy guy who can't fucking stay awake. What is he? We'll wrap out the show. But for fuck's sake, the sleepy airport person, how did you get here? And what do you do the rest of the time you're not in a sleepy airport? Like, are you just always sleeping?
On the floor somewhere?
You're at work, you're just fucking sleeping. Like just
people are walking in the bathroom, you're just like up against the wall sleeping.
You're always sleeping. And what is it so magical about an airport where you're like, this makes me so tired? Why? I don't know, but I get it because I get that feeling too.
The only reason that I could think is because it's like if you have a layover that's
like a lot of traveling,
crazy, yeah.
But it's.
But I've never done that. I've had some crazy traveling things, but I've never done that.
Immediately, it's been like just zonked out.
The first thing, and like I can't even sleep on an airplane, let alone sleep in a fucking airport where people are walking by.
You got overdressed guy. Like he's
talking on the phone.
He's in the fucking 40s or 50s. Like traveling's a gift. And then you got like the underdressed family where they forgot how like they're in public. So they're all just like wearing pajamas or whatever the fucking flip flops. And it's December. But yeah, there's just like all these different classes, and then you just kind of pick them out.
Yeah,
and pick them out. And the guy, like over tech guy. Who has just everything you could possibly ever need.
There's always one guy that's
fold
like
out deck.
You're sitting at the thing waiting for your thing, and there's this guy that's like pacing
he's
up and down the thing,
nervous
talking,
guy.
like talking on the phone, making deals.
Yeah, he's making sure that every 5 minutes he has to make sure he's at the right gate. Like that would be my mom in an airport. Just always worried that the airplane wasn't going to make it. Like, or it's going to show up and then be like, surprise! It's on the other side of the fucking airport! Run, bitch! Like, it's just like, no, it's coming. It's fine. Just sit the fuck down.
It's so funny, like, traveling with my mother-in-law, she doesn't travel a ton. So she's one of those people that's like, okay, so when this, she's got to ask, and Amber and I, we travel all the time, so we're just kind of like, it's just like, just sit.
Just
sit
get
down.
the fuck out of my face.
Like, just sit down.
Just push her back in the chair.
Like, I'm just trying to sit here and like kill time.
You drug her with sleeping medication, and then that explains all the super sleepy people that are sitting around.
All those people are like
they annoyed somebody at one point, and now they're fucking going to sleep.
They should have a room for that.
Yes, they should.
Get rid of a restaurant and have like a fucking sleeping area,
sleep room. Japan
How
has
do they
them.
not have that here?
They have like sleeping closets, drawers. You pull out and you just shove you in like a morgue.
Yeah,
dude. I love that. I guess get in your little sleeping drawer.
I do like places like Japan though. If you look at the amenities that they have compared to what we have, it's crazy.
They get it. Yeah,
they do get it. Everywhere else gets it. Everywhere else that can use their money to make things that are better, get it. There's some countries that they don't have the money, they can't do it. They would love to do it. But here we're like, no, we're not going to do that.
No, we're just going to sleep in the chair.
We're going to put another coffee place here to make money.
Right, we'll put 4 more Starbucks in right here. It's going to be great.
3 of them right next to each other.
Right,
and they're still all going to take forever.
They're facing each other. All right, well, that was episode 35. Please sign up. Be a part of
35.
Free 35.
Freedom.
Oh, freedom. Become a part of the gaggle. Patreon.com/CanYouDon'tPodcast. If you are part of the gaggle, the party continues after every single episode. You'll also find a link in the episode description. You can find us on the socials.
Flying V.
Yeah, you will. YouTube channel. Yep, just search for Can You Don't Podcast. Send in all the stuff. Whatever you want to hear. It could be a petty beef. You got in an argument with a friend or your spouse over some dumb shit. Hey guys at canyouDon'tPodcast.com. Confessions, of course.
We need to do another one of those.
Some stuff that you need to get off your chest. Send that in. Rate and review us wherever you listen to podcasts. And then a big shout out to the babysitters that run the Can You Don't Playground on Facebook, because there's a lot of fun in there. You picked the ending thing today.
I did.
Okay, want to do it?
Yep.
Good God. Wrap it up already, huh?
Got a joke for you, Joe.
Is it funny?
Yeah, this is a joke we told in that Hilton.
What?
Yeah, that airport Hilton.
Oh, right. Okay, so a dad joke.
Yeah.
I get it.
Where do polar bears keep their money?
Where?
In a snowbank.
Fuck. I mean,
yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. No one's going to look in there.
No. I mean, they're going to wish they had some fucking opposable thumbs to grab it.
That's what they have a mouth for.
Oh, yeah, just chew it. I guess I'm not familiar with polar bear currency. Is it seals?
It gives them the seal of approval.
It's just blubber. Like, bleh, just throw it up. It's Coca-Cola.
Yes.
It's Coca-Cola bottles. It's exactly what it is.
I miss those commercials.
We'll come back.
We had a little stuffed animal. It was the guy with the baby.
Are you hanging on to that? Just like the cords? It's going to be worth money?
My sister might have it.
Like a beanie?
baby. Yeah. I have a lot of old shit that I should probably get rid of, but I don't want to.
Good. Well, hang on to those. The cables, I don't know. You could have an entire yard sale of just fucking cables.
You just lay out a table
all the
and they're all
dads.
Yeah.
Just bring over their bin of cables and everyone just comes in all DVD players and shit.
No, dude. It's like a ski swap, but it's a cord swap.
Yes.
And it's all the guys like, oh, I'll give you this 50 foot of coax for those 3 VGA cables.
They're like, no. Okay, fine. 5,000 feet of coax cable. I got it. I mean, it sounds crazy.
You throw in an extender.
I got it. I'll give you 2,000 feet Ethernet cable, 700 HDMI cords. But I really need that. It's like a charger for something you don't have anymore, like some hard drive. But God damn it, I need that.
Remember those? They're long. They're really long and skinny.
Okay.
Those chargers. You know what I'm talking about? They like for like external hard drives.
Oh yeah.
It's not like a USB. It's like
it's like 36 prong.
No,
thing.
not even that. It's like just a really long. It's only like this long. And it's really skinny. I don't know what it is.
We have to go to your bin.
Yeah, we'll have to refer to the bin.
Refer to the bin and figure it all out.
All
right, kids, or not kids. I guess kids buy. Silly Goose. We'll keep talking.
Yeah, this is going to be our VIP club, like the kids that want to hang out.
Like the Hilton?
You have to be you
got to be part of the gaggle.
You want to come hang out in the Hilton.
You know what to do.
Yeah.
All right, we love you guys. Thanks for supporting the show. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Bye.